music industry in Cameroon is dead, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's dead. In fact, it's sleeping. In fact, now I just have to buy the new duvet because it looks like I've been sleeping for the duvet on the tea. Even drooled on day for that bed.
Yeah, for real, the music industry in Cameroon seems to be dead now. And people have been commenting a lot under this post, and I feel like maybe I should educate people. You see, the reason why Cameroon music industry is not moving forward is not because the artists are not talented or they are not producing hit songs. The problem of Cameroon music industry not moving forward has a lot to do with the economic situation in Cameroon. You see, when the economy is down, it has to affect every other sector, including entertainment. In a country's sphere, right? Apart from raw materials, what makes the economy to move is the private sector. And what many people don't understand is that music, entertainment, and tourism has a lot to do with an economy of a country. There are countries in the world that survive solely on tourism. Gross amount of their revenue is gotten from tourism. Now, why Cameroon music industry is not moving forward? Cameroon music industry is not moving forward, as I said, because of the economy. You see, what the role of the government in every country is to set economic policies, provide defense, and social amenities. That's the role of the government. Now, when you hear often people say the policies are not working, it means the rules and the laws that are governing that country are not working. For example, how can we make music business to move forward? Is by setting policies. And now I want to give now these policies. One of them is like what CY has been saying, 80-20. It's a policy that will be put in place by law in the Cameroon government to make sure that people prioritize Cameroon content, not just music, Cameroon products, Cameroon content, and every Cameroonian thing, they prioritize it more than foreign goods. That's what an economic policy is. Now, let me give another policy. You see, reducing taxes on companies. Now, economics, they like a wire that crisscross. What happens to this person affects this person. Now, let me say why reducing taxes. If they reduce taxes for some sectors in the economy, for example, the government of Cameroon only reduce taxes on agriculture. That's an example. They don't subsidize agriculture. Now, if they reduce taxes on the creation of record labels is an example, or the importation of certain things that deal with musical instruments, it will help more people to buy musical instruments from abroad. That's a clean example for you guys to understand. Now, what is some of these policies that the government can set apart from 80-20? Reducing telecommunication taxes and also enforcing telecommunication to do brand deals with content creators, with actors, with musicians. It has to be in the law. And recently I heard also Malik talking about something, and I reposted it in my channel. It was so intelligent and wise. That's why I reposted it. He said MTN Cameroon is doing trade fair in Cameroon, in Boya rather. That MTN Cameroon is doing trade fair in Boya. And guess what? For the longest now, they have been using francophone content creators, and they don't use anglophone content creators nor musicians to put them on billboard and stuff like that. So it's eroding our culture out of us. It's forcing English-speaking Cameroonians to become French, which many people who are in Cameroon may not understand this. It's a systematic change which is very bad for English Cameroonians. It's not like I'm being tribalistic or nepotism like you all say. No. It's a right and law in business that I want to make this very simple for everyone to understand. Where you take money from, who you derive money from, you have to give back to that society. It's a law in business. Many people don't know this, but it's a law. That's why you see that all multinational companies always create businesses, hospitals, do something for charity in the community where they are being installed. It's a law in business. You all might not know it, but that is a law. So I've given 2 ways of improving our entertainment sector. I told you one is by imposing and putting Cameroon product first, including music. There is also music tax. Do you all know that musicians in Cameroon have money that the government gives them because of the tax they collect from music? It's in many countries, it's also in Cameroon. But the problem is that corporation that is handling this money, the Sonacam, has a lot of corruption, and so many musicians are not registered because they don't even have the information. So all musicians in Cameroon basically are supposed to be registered under Sonacam so that they get their own portion of the revenue that is gotten from the government. People call it royalties. It's called royalties, but really that is taxes that the government takes from citizens and pass it on to musicians. That's the reality. You all call royalties. That's what is happening. So when you register in that organization, it shows that you are a musician in Cameroon. And when the government collects those taxes, when they are passing it on to musicians, when they are giving, like they give another share of the tax to musicians, the money, the revenue they get from the tax, when they give it on to musicians, when you're registered, you receive that money too. You have a scale and a way of collecting the money and dividing it to people based on your amount of plays, your popularity, and they have something, they use a unit of measurement that they use to measure the share each person will get. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, I can do another video explaining all of this, but this video is not to explain that. This video is to talk about the policies that the government can put in place so that the music business works in Cameroon. So it's not just an individual thing. It's not just the thing of the artists struggling and the people struggling. No, it's the thing of the government to put those laws in place. Many educated musicians know about this. Some know, but others don't. So those who get educated, they join this corporation, they do these things and they get the money and sit quiet. The younger artists, they don't tell them about it because they feel like if they tell them about these things, the money that is coming in will be small. That's not the case. I told you, economics is everything connecting to everything. It's like the cobweb. That's how it works. And the bad effect of this stuff is that when these artists are limiting these things for the younger artists, what happens is the industry becomes crumpy. Very, very few people in the industry. What happens when there are few people in the, like, it's a typical situation in Cameroon. You can see that there are very few A-list artists in Cameroon. We can count them. If I put a list now to count all the artists, the good artists in Cameroon that you hear their music and they are kind of popular, it's like maybe like 50 at most. What happens in this kind of industry is that when they do this and don't want others to grow, the amount of stakeholders, the amount of people in that industry is small. So the industry is not booming. For that industry to boom, there must be many people and a saturation of products in that market that will make other people, that will make investors to come in and invest because they will see that there is money in this thing. Because people only come to invest when they see that, there is money in this thing, this is an opportunity to make money, people will invest. So if the government put these policies in place and the industry is saturated with musicians that are ready to work, then the industry will be saturated. That is how money is created. So many things are failing in Cameroon and in our continent, Africa, because of failed government policies. Government don't put policies. The government doesn't enforce that these laws work because of corruption. That is the reason why. But many people will not understand this and they be like, musicians are not working. Entertainers are not working. Come on. They are working. It's just a few policies to put in place and the whole thing will come together. The moment you adjust this one adjusts this as well. That's the beauty about economics. So I've given 2 ways of improving our entertainment sector. I told you one is by imposing and putting Cameroon product first, including music. There is also music tax. Then I spoke about another thing, enforcing laws that will help these multinational companies to work with locals. That is 2 points I've given. Now, let me give the third point. I told you that economics, everything works hand in hand with each other. Now, if you enforce this law, what happens? The next thing that happens is prices of internet service will go down. If they subsidize internet service in Cameroon, this is what will happen. Streaming will increase. More streaming means more money. And more money means more Cameroonians become rich, creating more jobs. If they subsidize internet bills in Cameroon, that's what is going to happen. Okay, now, I've given, this is the third point already. The fourth point is stakeholders in the music industry should organize trainings, seminars, and workshops that will help to educate many Cameroonians about music platform like music distribution, music marketing. This will help to saturate the industry with many music stakeholders. So when you're limiting yourself from bringing new people into the business, you think you're making money and you're blocking the way for others. It's not helping the industry. It's helping the industry go down instead. So thank you all. See you all in the next one.